We are live. How is everybody? Hey, Gloria is in the house.
Gloria.
What's going on, Gloria? Welcome in. Whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, we are live. Stay home with us. Weekday edition. Hello, Cassie. What's going on? How are you? So today we're going to talk about the Disney parks. We're Disney Park nuts, and they're not open right now. We've got 3 planned trips. Oh, that's my voice.
Volume.
Double me. Taylor Made Disney, what's going on, Taylor? So Gloria, Cassie, Taylor saying hi in the chat. Again, whether you're on Facebook or you're on, there we go, YouTube, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. So yeah, so I'm watching the news a little bit, and they're talking about some announcements coming down maybe later this week, maybe next week.
Yeah.
It is the middle of April. We're talking about maybe late May, maybe early June for America getting back to work, right? Hey, Disney nerd herders, how are you, my friends?
I vote no.
You vote no? You think that's too long?
Yes.
See, I think that it's good news because, hey, JLB nerdy, I just think it's good news that it doesn't matter when it is. We just need to know that it's not, 2026, right? Like, we've got to, I think anytime they give us a date, hey, we'll try to get there. I think that's better. The stock market certainly thinks so. Every time
the date keeps
hey,
jumping
Mar, how are
back,
you?
And that's where I'm like, because like it was Easter, and then it was like the end of April, and now
but it never was. It was.
May.
It was. I hope it can be Easter. We hope it can be. Like, I think we've got to be more realistic about it. But so very selfishly, we've got October, New Year's Eve, and March trips planned.
Right.
I think there's 100% chance that we're going on all 3 of those.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to be in October.
I don't think it's going to affect our trips at all. As far as like, it's already scheduled. We've already paid.
No, but I mean, plenty of people are scheduled and paid for time that's
right. That's now
they're missing out on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we're at risk of that at all. I think. Hey, Candy, you're the lovely people, Candy. Hey, Jay Skywalker has a better last name than me. Hi, my mom. What's going on?
Hello.
I really think, though, to me, this is good news. Like, it's weird. It's weird. A lot of couch time. Getting to know my puppies. We were talking about how the puppies are going to not know what hit them when we go back to work.
Our dogs are going to be shocked when we go back to work.
But I think it's good news. I really do. Maybe I'm just putting a positive spin on it, but I don't know when it's going to be. May, late May, early June. What if it were July? I mean, I can tell you that some cities are already canceling their 4th of July events, but I don't know. I think it's good news. I don't think that's bad news. I think it's good news because we're getting there. I mean, I don't want to talk about the horrible news, but hey, Nathan, what's going on? But the numbers, the terrifying numbers are starting to come down in New York. The terrifying numbers are starting to come down in, well, everywhere. So I think.
I mean, it's not like I'm wanting to jump back into going to the movies. I don't care to jump back into going into any group thing. I mean, I would like to go back to church, but.
Would you go to the movies? Like if they open it up on Friday, would you be at the movies next week?
No.
Exactly.
But I absolutely
AMC's gonna go bankrupt.
Want to order or open up my store and have people come in, and I want like that part of my life to be back. Like we need that. That's an income for our nonprofit.
Yeah.
And I want our store back.
Our employees,
our
family.
Exactly. Like that's the part I want back. I want to go back there. I want to work that. I want to be with them.
Jay mentions it. Numbers coming down in New Orleans. Hey, Timothy, how are you? I think I said hi to Nathan. I want to hit TJ Maxx so bad.
Yeah, no, I don't even care about shopping. That's not really. I'm not a shopper.
I was gonna say, I bet she's more of a shopper than you are.
I do miss going to the Disney store. I do miss our grabbing a burger and hanging out at that Disney store and talking with the cast members.
A lot of times on a Friday night, if we get out of the office at a decent time, we'll drive. We'll make the right instead of the left. Left is home. Right is the mall. The mall has a nice burger. It's got a bunch of restaurants we like.
Right.
3 or 4 restaurants we really enjoy, and the Disney store are all.
We make a video. We talk to cast members. It's kind of like a quick connection, and then back. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I would like to go to Ross. I haven't been there in a while, but not. I don't care. That's not the part that I care about.
I think, like for me, I love going to the movies. Gloria mentions AMC. I'll get to that here in a minute. And what the world needs to know now. Hi, Tommy. Won't go back to normal till easily July. I agree, Tommy. I agree. I think that if they open it in late May, if they open it in June, and I think that's highly likely. I think the Disney parks, we were doing a live stream last night, and Bob Iger, I'm going to get to that too here, Kenny Mom. while I was in my live stream, a couple people in live stream say, "Hey, did you hear the news about Buyapre? What's going on? Buyapre Project in the house. Everybody check them out." Talked about it. Well, it looks like Iger's the CEO again. Now, I haven't done a lot of research today. I read a little bit last night, but I don't think anything's changed except for. So let's talk about Iger for a minute. Really Disney nerd stuff. But hey, Todd B, what's going on? But Bob Iger tried to leave 18 months ago. Bob Iger was considering running for president. Bob Iger has been telling the board of Disney, "Hey, Walt, what's going on?" That he's going to leave for a while. Then he said, "Let's do." They wanted him to stay on through the launch of the Disney Plus thing. He said, "Okay, I'll stay on the end," and that went very, very well. And he goes, "I did really, really well. I want to get out of here now." And they said, "Okay, let's get Bob up to speed." And then this happened. Walt says, "I think these are scary times for Disney. The longer they are closed, the better chance they either get bought out so bankruptcy is not going to be an option." I can tell you that so I might be a investor in Disney. Disney's at about 105. When it was down at 80, rumors started to pop up again that Apple, who has all the dollars, a couple billion in the bank, cash, liquid, ready to spend, and everybody for 5 years has been saying, "What's Apple going to buy?" And Disney makes a lot of sense. But it was at 80, and it's at 105 now, and it's creeping up. I think today it went down to 103. I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but you're right. It was right. Apple can buy anybody they want, basically. Pretty much everybody but Alibaba. I know, really nerd stuff. But could they buy Disney? Yes. Would they buy Disney? Yes. If Iger says in his biography that had Jobs lived, there would have been a merger already. It likely would have happened. So I don't know that would be a bad thing. It's not going to go bankrupt. So as a business, is Netflix a good business? Yes. Is the stock moving up? Yes, long term. I'm not talking about right now, long term. Disney Plus is not Netflix on its own, but Disney Plus isn't that far from Netflix. Oh, and then you have the parks, which are suffering right now, and DVC, which would be suffering right now, and the movies. They had 3 movies hit $1 billion in 2019. My point is they're going to be fine. If they were just competing with Netflix, they would survive and even thrive, but they've got the parks. Now, certainly they're going to get hit hard with the park stuff.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Disney's a long play. Frankly, again, I'm not going to nerd out on the market on you guys. Happy to do it, but I doubt the crew wants to hear that. If you're a long player, I'm 50 years old, and I'm a long player. Buy Disney. It's 105. It's 103. It's going to be 133. It's going to be 145. It's going to be 160 in the next, year or two. So anyway, but I think that and I'm not ignoring your questions. I'll go back and get them. When the world gets back to more normalcy, when we go back to work, it won't be all, "Hey, everybody's going to work today." That's just dumb. Nobody really thinks that. A couple people like to talk about it on Twitter, just to, that's just proving that they don't know what they're talking about. When we start phasing it back, and I know in Texas we're going to phase in faster than like in New York, rightfully so, right? But when we're back to work, that doesn't necessarily mean Disney's going to be open. AMC, Gloria, I think mentioned they're not going to be open. AMC needs to be open right now. Michael's may be open. They may not be. There's going to be different rules for different people. I can't imagine the public's going to be allowed to instantly. The last day that Disney was open, when everybody said, "Hey, we're closing down in 3 days," remember the scene? It was that people were actually annoyed by it. There was mass people everywhere. Everybody was worried that there was going to be a big outbreak in Florida because of it. Mm-hmm. Didn't pan out. Hallelujah. Thank goodness. But I doubt the general public will be able to flood into the Disney parks, but the Disney people will. It'll be full 2 weeks after they open, and I think that'll be a June opening. I think by the 4th of July, the parks will be full. That's just my opinion. What do you think while I check on these questions?
Well, I'm thinking I think for Texas, I really think they're going to probably go as far as regionally. If you look at Hood County, which is where we have our store, it's a pretty good sized county, but it's very spread out. So they have 19 cases total in that whole county. They've had 1 death. It's not spreading like crazy. So I'm really hoping
that person was on a cruise boat.
On a cruise ship
and was already elderly.
Right. And a bunch of the people who have gotten it, 4 originally started at a cruise ship, and then 3 and 4 of their other family members got it from them. So it's not like it's a community spread thing. It's they've been, there's 1 that's community spread that they haven't been able to link. The others actually worked in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So I think like situations like that, if they can just hold it and keep it from spreading, especially because that's a senior community, I think we'll be able to go back. Hopefully faster than like Dallas. Dallas has got some issues.
Oh, they're just come on. Where it's extra horrific. It's where they're
packed in tight, and frankly, people are on the streets. They're mixing and mingling, or they were. I don't know that they are now, but we had early on when we were all locked down and staying home. They had parks full of people. Adults were out playing basketball together. I mean, everybody was still mixing, and so
I see you, Scar fan down there. So, Jeff, did I talk about Bob Iger just a little bit? So, this is my opinion. I haven't done any article reading much today, but nothing's changed. That is an announcement for the stockholders. So they say, hey, Bob's still in charge, you're fine, because this is definitely for America and for every company it's an important time to make the right decisions. And so they're just telling the investing public, we got this. I got it. We got a new guy, but Bob's still got it. That's what I believe. I might be wrong, but I'm not. Gloria, I heard that about AMC. Yeah, if you're buying AMC, don't. AMC's about to go. They've already talked to bankruptcy lawyers. They're gonna have a bad day or bad month, bad year. And I got to be honest with you, it makes sense. Do you want to sit next to a person right here and then another person right here?
It's a bummer because we have the AMC is like our close theater.
Walt, I'll get to the question in a minute, but I know Walt mentions already a question. It's got to make it worth it while. You're right. Think about movie theaters. There's no way you're going to sit. Now, the good news is most of the times they're open. Like you can have 2 people per row, cut off every other row. There's ways to do it, and they'll be able to open. Tommy says won't be back to normal till easily July. I agree with that. Vipri, I think I said hello. How are you guys? Love you. Glad you're here. I should snag my August trip. So I can tell you that while DVC has furloughed some of their employees, they're still getting calls. It's calmed down a lot. But every week there's a new group of people like, okay, I'm out. What do I do? I think you'll be fine in August, frankly. Hey, Todd B, what's going on? Hey, Mike Wheeler. Again, Walt, they're scary times in the sense that it's down, but don't kid yourself. Disney's still profiting. Captain Akron, what's going on? Well, you know about the Elvis fans are hoping Graceland. Mar is my go-to for all things Elvis. Hey, Samantha, I know there's some more questions here. I didn't want to skip them. How about Disney opening with limited capacity? I think that's likely. I think it's probably going to happen whether we want it to or not. I think week 1 and week 2, not everyone's going to go back. I do think week 3 and week 4, it's probably going to be back to capacity. That's just my personal opinion. But
I'd be happy just to hang out at the resort and go to downtown not downtown Disney. It's called, what's it called in Florida? Disney Springs.
Oh, I didn't know. Disney Springs.
I was thinking California, but like I can hang out at the resort and just have a blast.
Vipri, if you like market talk, I got something for you, but the announcement's coming soon. It'll never be the same, Tommy. I don't know that anything's ever the same. Every day I go to bed and every next day I wake up and it's not the same. I don't think it's going to be that different. That said, a pandemic's a pandemic. A large worldwide pandemic always changes things. You go through history, they all change things. I mean,
there are businesses that want to come back.
Be real. We had to remind people to wash their hands.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a good point too. I mean, I'm sorry to be Darwinian here, but some businesses, if you're on a margin that much, like look, think about how many restaurants you have in your town. It's way more than we need. It's not that we should only have what we need, but that's the kind of way this kind of stuff works. Zelda Master John, hey, how are you? But I do agree with you, Tommy. It'll never be the same. I don't know that I think that's that bad of a thing, but there you go. I'm trying to get caught up in questions, guys. I know we went on a little rant there, and I'm way behind in questions. I apologize. I was at work earlier. Power went out, so I came home early. Oh, nice. Or sorry. Candlelight Vigil, nice. If Disney, Walt says, I'm assuming Walt, could be Melissa, but I think it's Walt from Mouse Talk. If you don't know Mouse Talk and you're a Disney fan, then you probably are. If you're here, check out their channel. I love their channel. Great people, great family. If Disney reopens, it has to be worth it to reopen. Limited capacity may not be financially worth it. So if you're losing $10 million a day, it's better to lose 8. Then it's better to lose 6. Then it's better to lose 4. And you're paying all the people. They're paying all the people anyway. So I agree with you, but less loss is better than more loss. In my never so humble opinion. Andy's in the house. He still roots for Scar. Yeah, I know. I know you do. New York City. Yeah, man, 6 million people alone in New York City. Think about that. Like I've only been in New York City once and I loved it. And part of it was that hustle and bustle and everybody there.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine living there, but boy, well, apparently 6 million people do. Tommy says, what are your thoughts on those who have antibodies? Sorry, there we go. I covered my own self. Sorry, Tommy, what are your thoughts on those who have antibodies and are still spreading it and not have any idea? Well, okay, so if you have antibodies, that means your body, I'm not a doctor, but I'm playing one on my YouTube channel now. If you have antibodies, that means your body has healed itself, not healed itself, but got through it. Yeah, got through it. And I don't think we have evidence that you still spread it. There is not strong evidence that they don't, but I think it's a high likelihood that if you get it, you're not going to get it again. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just playing one because he asked the question. I don't think we know it because it's new, but that seems to be historically how these things go. When it comes to the deaths, it's not always COVID. It's almost always not COVID. It's usually COVID does some damage and then you die. Usually, actually, I think the mass, boy, this is a little brutal. I think most of the deaths are from heart attack, but it's because, you know, it jacks up your lungs.
Yeah, your lungs swell.
Yeah. Hey, Amy from AJC. I agree they're still in the black, but they can't continue to lose money the longer the parks go. Oh, amen. I mean, obviously, I mean, I run a small nonprofit. We got, our budget is, you know,
tiny.
Compared to Disney, it's insanely tiny. And you know, we can't continue to bleed. We can bleed for a month or 3.
We've got a little while.
Forever. But
But most businesses don't have what we had.
But wait. I mean, we're a nonprofit. If After School America can bleed for 3 months, Disney can bleed for a while. I mean, let's be real.
Yes, I'm thinking like restaurants and other
restaurants live on that's the Darwinian part of it. Restaurants live on such a it's like a grocery store. They make it up in volume. Restaurants don't have the volume of, you know, Walmart grocery. If you living on that margin, if you had to close down in the first 3 days that you closed down, that's probably not the business model for me. I'll tell you that. It's a very cash, you know, spinning. Yeah. Restaurants are not known for their profitability.
Right.
Like 9 out of 10 restaurants don't make it for the full year. Oh man, geez, I'm sorry. Every time, right? Is it me? Is there a way to do that doesn't? I don't know if there's a way to handle that or not. Zelda Master John, I'm glad you're here. Glad you caught us. Glad I caught you. I think all the parks attraction are absolutely, Amy. Absolutely. Life as Mama being in-house. What's going on? Katrina in 05 closed some businesses in New Orleans, but the city came back. Exactly. See, and that's the thing where whoever was saying, Tommy or whoever it was said, I don't think everything will be the same. Of course not. You know, every spring is different than the last spring. So
and especially with the small business loans and payroll things that was supposed to be like available really fast, so they wouldn't suffer. Honestly, it's not been fast. We still haven't even heard if we've been.
Last we heard from Chase Bank is, hey, don't call us, we'll call you.
Right.
That's the last 3 conversations they've had with us is, hey, you can apply when I already applied. Hey, you'll be able to apply tomorrow when I already filled out the forms. Hey, please fill out the form now, which is basically reapplying. They send you the SBA and they have you fill it out on their own thing. And I get it. They didn't have the right stuff. Doesn't matter. I want to go into details.
But we have another payroll coming out next week. And we're like, okay, we're lucking away here.
We're 2 payrolls in now with no revenue, right? Yeah.
2 payrolls in with 0 coming.
All the different amusement parks. Well, no, we got our, you don't even know this. Our insurance agency is giving us a dividend. We're getting a check for like $600. But anyway, yeah. Hey, Lynn, what's going on? I just got the call. I don't know what you're doing.
Better than getting nothing.
I was going to say, it's like, it's the first money that's coming in a while. I'll take it. A restaurant can make it if they do not have paste. Yes. Thing is, everybody has bills to pay.
See, we have to pay all that still in our store. We have a mortgage, we have water.
We're paying payroll like everybody's working. Payroll. We're paying,
I mean, just to have our trash taken care of, that's $600.
We get donor calls every day, and I'd say, hey, please don't leave your trash. And they say, I'll never do that. I said, yeah. So when we're alive and kicking, when we're there, probably 5%. You know, if we get 60 donations a day, probably 3 or 4 are just fully trash. Yeah. And then when you add all the trash that we're doing, it's trash.
And when they bring down like a wet futon, you know, that's our whole dumpster right there.
Yeah. And so we have stuff to pay that. Hey, Magical Express, what's going on? Hey, Disney Boppins, what's going on? Timothy, did I say hello to you, Timothy? Hello, Timothy, what's going on? And so anyway, but my point is stuff is still going on. I run a nonprofit that has a resale shop, and we're getting, the phone was just ringing. I just had to turn it off. We're getting 5 to 10 calls a day. Hey, can I go shopping? Hey, can I donate? And so that's just my little slice of the world. Hey, Dale, what's going on? But my little slice of the world tells me that people want to get back out there. Like when people are saying, is it going to be a U? Is it going to be a V? Or is it going to be an L? I'll tell you how it's going to be, guys. It's going to be an L, but it's going to be at an angle. So, and we'll have some of this. You know, we'll get some bad news, and there'll be something will pop up here and there. There'll be news of something going on in China. You know, people get scared, but whether it's the stock market or you're going back to job, it comes down to people's confidence. Are you going to go sit next to somebody at AMC? And that brings us back to, are you going to go to Disney? And I would just, what do we got? 33 people. I'm just looking on YouTube. I can't count it on Facebook. I guess I could, but I don't pull it up. So say there's 35 to 40 people here. I don't know what the number is. How many of you, whether you're a Disney fan or not, you probably are if you're here, would go to Disney in the first 2 weeks that it reopened if they gave you a free ticket?
Yes.
I bet it's at least 30 of the 40. Well, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But that would be 3 out of 4.
You're out in the open air. You can control staying away from people, sorta. A movie theater, you're inside. The reset.
That's a good point. I would go to Disney.
Totally different.
Before I would go to a movie. That's an interesting point. I mean, just thinking out loud. Dale says, and hello, Dale. Worst part, oh man, of my May 26th being canceled. Oh.
He had the board.
We love the board.
Wow.
We only been there once. We went there last trip, and we want to stay there now. It was really fun. First world problem, right? You were meant to be at Disneyland Paris today. I mean, and that's what a good attitude. First world problem, right? Like, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, who was it? It was Gary Vee. I was listening to Gary Vee the other day, and it was on. He was talking to that Ainsley, the pretty blonde in the morning on Fox, and she asked some question about how do you keep in a perspective, and he said, "Don't die, stay home. If you lose everything, start over." I mean, and that's the real truth. Like, I mean, I love my house, I love my job, but it's not going to get to this. But if it got to that, we just start again, right? You know, I mean, that's horrible to consider, but it's better than you know, we're okay. First world problems. Like, we're talking. This conversation is about. Do you think we're gonna? Let's be real. Do you think we'll be at Disney in October? Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, maybe we're just our head in the sand, totally wrong. You know, but it stinks to stay home. You know, my sister who lives out in California called me this morning. We were talking because we missed each other on Easter. We just played phone tag, and so I talked to her this morning. She said, "Are you going crazy, staying at the house all the day long?" No, I'm YouTubing the heck out of it. I've got podcast stuff I'm working on. I've got 2 new, I don't want to make the announcements right now, channel-y things that are going on. I've got some fun stuff that I'm having some time with. I haven't even gotten my garage yet. Like, I'm consuming more content than I've been able to. You know, this room is going to actually be a studio. So we all have those, oh man, I wish I could take 2 weeks off and not have anything to do. We all have that right now. It's, you know, I don't like being told I have to stay home, but the doing of it's not that bad.
In Jennifer's situation, though, like, they spent she has a really small house, and then it's like a little townhome, and then she spent her first few weeks like converting the garage into a dance studio. They like
did she? I didn't even know
projects. That. Yeah, they did projects. Well, now they're done, and she's like, okay, let's go, because they have a very busy, full schedule at all times. So now she's probably like, okay, what do I do with myself? When you have all your projects done and your house is clean.
There's more things to do. Come on. Yeah. Go do 10 push-ups.
New hobby.
Mel Stock says, thankfully, our jobs are still going full speed. Amen, right? Amen. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, again, we run a nonprofit, and we are blessed compared to most nonprofits because we're fiscally conservative and, dare I say, not stupid. And, you know, there was a time not that long ago that our organization was doing some things dumb. And we've done what we did to get 2, 3 months,
this would have been a few years ago. We wouldn't have been able to pay staff.
Yeah, but because we planned for the rainy day that we never thought would come. Right. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not mad at restaurants, but they lived in the world that. But those restaurants might go away, but then new ones will come in. Right. I mean, prices will come down because there's more opportunity. There'll be more space. So. You know, I don't want to get into economic nerddom here, but economics works every time. Free enterprise works every time. I was supposed to go to Disney World June 6th. Yeah, see, that's a tough one. Who's that? Magical Express. That's a tough one. I would say that I would be nervous about that one.
Yeah, that's the same week that we're supposed to have our kids' camps.
At church.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I think that we're getting back to work late May. I mean, America.
That's kind of early to be grouping people.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I were a betting man. And I would say July 4th is a good guesstimate. That's just, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping for like June.
I mean, it's a rolling guesstimate, right? But it's amazing to think. Like, we've already been sitting here for how many weeks? I don't even know. And it seems like a long time, and I don't think we're halfway through.
I'm hoping we're halfway through.
I mean, it's hard to know. It's hard to know. When the government says we can, and I don't generally trust the government, but when the government says, I mean, you got to, give unto Caesar, right? I was supposed to go to, oh, I read that one. So, hey, Joseph, hey, what's going on? Yes, I'd go, says Mouse Talk. Mom says, maybe. Have a mask, will travel.
There you go.
That's good. Sarah would go. Sarah, you better be bringing us.
Yeah.
Or we'll be bringing you. I will be at opening day, Padres. See, there you go.
Sarah. She watches the dogs.
Oh yeah, that would be rough.
I wouldn't work.
We're like, Sarah, why do you have the dog in the line for Peter Pan?
She have Coco in her backpack.
Andy, my buddy, actually, we were talking about this. He'll be at opening day one, and that's opening day would be a day that you're full. So Andy and me and Andy have talked about this. He's ready to sit right next to somebody. It really comes down to this and everything else we do, how much risk you're willing to take on.
Yeah,
it really does. Like we were talking yesterday, we had some family over and we stayed apart and we were in the backyard.
We did. It was the weirdest.
We got some funny pictures, some funny videos. It worked. I think it did.
We grouped them according to family. Like this set of chairs was the Tuckers.
So we're doing all the things.
This set was the Lands.
So we're doing all the things, and it was fairly ridiculous, but following the rules and doing the right thing and keep everybody safe. And there was a rumble of thunder. Okay. Yes. And so there was a rumble of thunder. There's these beautiful clouds and clear. You hear thunder. You're supposed to go inside, they say, because if you hear it, it can hit you. And you know how many people ran inside?
Nobody.
0. So it's all about risk and aversion to risk and risk tolerance, right?
We wouldn't have been able to come inside and stay away from each other. So the option was stay out and see if it gets closer.
But my point is,
leave. And so
we knew there was risk there. Not one of us considered it for 1 second.
I looked on the radar. It said there was a little lightning in the area. I said, okay. And we went out and played with the dogs more.
And that's what it's going to be. At some point, when they give us the go ahead to go back to work, people are going to do what is comfortable for them. Will I fly quickly? No, I won't fly quickly. Will I sit next to somebody in a movie theater? No, I won't. Would I walk around at Disney? I will. Now, part of that is my love for Disney.
I would walk at the beach too.
I would walk at the beach. Would you walk in a busy mall?
No, it's inside. I want breeze, air, fresh air.
And by the way, if somebody sneezes in the wind,
ew,
it might be, so it's risk aversion, right? I mean, in the end, you're going to be as fearful or as confident as you want to be. And truth be told, we don't have all the facts.
Right.
Every day we go by the grace of God, right? Like when you walk outside, you read about a meteor hitting you. I mean, I guess some people are. And I'm not trying to minimize this. This is scary stuff, man. This is no joke. This ain't just the flu. I partially still am one of those guys that are going, well, the flu kills more people every year, but it's not about how many people it kills. It's how freaking fast it does.
How fast it makes
and how many ventilators you're going to need, because how many people, like New York City is proof, right? It's not like we have these 10,000 people spread out over 6, 8, 10 weeks over all 50 states. This is concentrated terror.
Getting sick really fast.
It's a different beast. I probably would be the second week, says Amy. No, I'm waiting a few weeks. Think of the lines.
Yeah, it's going to be
true.
crowded.
Todd, you're right. You're right. That's a good point. Walt, I would be there too. Meet me at the People Mover. Oh, that's funny. Spring roll in one hand, Mickey Pretzel in the other, says Candy Mom. We are still moving forward with our multi-generational trip Thanksgiving week.
Fun.
Nice. Good for you. I hope you have a great time. That's a great way to look at the worst start over. Yeah, I mean, look at exactly, Viapre. First world problems. Like, I don't want to start over. Like, I love this house. And we moved from California to here almost 10 years ago now. And we had to rent, and we had a little mobile home for a while. And we were doing what we needed to do to restart, kind of.
Right. Know? We did. We restarted completely.
I think we really did.
With clothing, kids, cats, dogs, and cars.
I thought it was going to be a couple months. I thought it was going to be a little rest in a couple months. And I thought we'd be back in California. At least I thought there was a good chance of that. Not for sure.
Yeah.
But we fell in love with it. We loved, and we did start over. And I didn't start a new career. I went back to a career I knew. So it wasn't like fully starting over, but
it was. We were without a job.
We certainly took a large cut in pay.
Yeah, and a huge cut in
But my point is, we can do it again. Like, I don't want to, but I'd much rather grandma survive. I'd much rather have my mom here for another 10 or 20 Christmases. I'd still rather have, I think it's the right thing to do. Yeah. Like, I like money, and maybe it's not fair. I'm a nonprofit guy, so maybe I'm not as money motivated as many people are, but
right, and it's different.
But you could do it. Is my point. We still live in America. Like it's, we're still more.
There's still little mobile homes down the road if we
had
to
and if that horrible thing happened, then it's happening to everybody. I mean, they're not going to foreclose on everybody.
Our kids have a really cool travel trailer. I could borrow that on the back of their land. We could go camping.
I just think it's more attitudinal. Like you can't control what happens. You can control how you react to it, right? It doesn't matter what happens. It only matters how you react to it.
You just have to know, okay, I'm going to be uncomfortable for a little while and get over
it. Oh, please. We're uncomfortable every day.
Yeah.
I'm a little warm right now. You better go in October if I'm staying in Texas. You better be staying in Texas. Oh, man, the chat. Why does the chat do that? Like, is it me? I feel like I'm dumb. I think it's me. Wow, it really skipped a lot.
There's a lot of chat we're going through.
I don't want to ignore anyone. Okay, here we go. Going through a lot with budget changes, curriculum changes. Yeah, I still, as you know, Gloria, I still work with schools and when you use other people's money, it's always rough when you run out.
Yeah, it's hard.
Was that my outside voice? I think it was. Zero risk for me, says my mom. What do y'all think about no parades or fireworks? I think, Dale, there's logically going to be some changes along those lines. I think it was Walt who said maybe we would open the parks with a limited numbers. I don't know what their profitability number is, but it's a lot lower than their maximum is. Like if they only let 20% in, like there's a bunch of people who are not going to like to hear this, but if they cut back by 20%, 1/5, how many people they could let in, and they raise the prices 5 times, would they get those 20%? Yes, they would. And so that's a break-even point. Now that would piss people off, but that's the way it is. I don't think they're going to do that. There's no evidence for that. I'm just saying they could. Major League Baseball, they've got all these kinds of plans. Maybe the teams that spring train in Florida are going to be down there and spring train in Arizona are going to be down there. And that would necessitate nobody in the stands. I don't think the Disney parks getting open is as important to the bottom line for Disney as it is for the employees of Disney. I think getting the cast members, the park-based employees, the ride operators, the maintenance people, the gardeners, all of that, getting them back employed and having some revenue coming in so they're not bleeding, the cash and all that. I think Disney is probably going to take a loss in the parks division, highly likely for 2020.
Yeah.
But they'll make it up. It's just like, think about the NCAA. The NCAA has all these sports, and men's football makes enough money to pay for everything else, and there's some left over. Women's volleyball is not profitable. Men's field hockey is not profitable. Men's baseball is not profitable. Men's football is so profitable that it pays for everything else. And that's not normally how Disney has to be, but it can certainly be that way in 2020. Now, they're going to take a hit, obviously, on their movies, but it's a perfect time for it if it had happened, because then it just goes content straight to Disney Plus. I mean, I'm sure they would rather had Onward do well at the movie box office, but it's certainly, in all of this, what was missed, getting nerdy about Disney and Disney stock and all those things, Europe comes online, India comes online, 50 freaking million new subscribers to Disney Plus.
Right.
If that was the only business they had, it's a profitable business. They're not.
But when they open, do you think people will care if they don't do parades and fireworks? Would you?
I wouldn't care at all.
See, I wouldn't either, because I just want to be back in.
I think that I think there's a million ways to do it. If they only let half of capacity in, if they only let, maybe they cut it, you can come in with this ticket, you come in at 8 a.m. With this ticket, you come in at noon. With this kind of ticket, you come in at 4, and that would artificially ensure lower numbers. I mean,
I don't know.
They would just call it extra magic. No, extra magic hours is a thing they already do.
Morning magic versus afternoon magic.
They would just, and that's actually, if you want my prediction, that's what we're going to see. Some kind of tiered pricing that is based on when you enter the park. And they won't ask you when to leave, because people will naturally leave. But like me and you, we don't go from beginning to end.
No.
So, I mean, okay, that's what I believe.
We did last time in Epcot, though.
Well, okay, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 days. Cargo is making Disney. Lots of people. We were just looking at on Instagram. Lots of people are making Disney masks. Some beaches in California are closed. Yeah. Booking a trip in June to Disney if it's open. Steve, I hope it is. I doubt it. But I think soon after that. Mom says, "Where's my tinfoil hat?" I need a tinfoil hat. Timothy, you have a great day. I'm glad you stopped by. Donna Jaworski's in the house. What's going on, Donna? Man, it is bouncing around.
Bouncing.
I don't
Chat
think it is
bouncing.
me. I'm happy it is. It makes me happy. That means you guys are engaged. But I always feel like I'm ignoring somebody. Disney is furloughed. Yeah, 1,000. I think 40,000. I think I read. Is that?
Wow.
I don't know. That might be wrong. That's
our
shocking.
friend is still on though, right?
But again, yeah. Furloughed. Well, we have a few, but I know he represents.
Yeah.
Furlough is good for the employee. Furlough is a positive for the employee. That means they can apply for the unemployment. They're not, and they have a job when they're done. You know, there's not going to be this massive hiring at Disney when we reopen if they furlough everybody. You still have
right, and you're not going to want to retrain everybody. What a pain in the neck.
Furloughing is good for the employee. I mean, it's a pain, and I hear horrible things about the unemployment situation right now, but
yeah.
It's better than not. Everyone likes Onward but Walt. I liked it. You know, so the previews looked horrible, I thought. And then a bunch of my buddies saw it before me and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna love it." I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. I liked it a lot. It's not, you know.
It's kind of sad.
It was it was cute. It was different.
Yeah, it was different.
I enjoyed it. The 2 hours or whatever, the hour and a half, I enjoyed that time. I'm not in love with it. Will I watch it again? I sure will. It's not an instant classic or anything, but it was fun. I'm trying harder. I would watch them on YouTube. Yeah, see, that's a thing. Like Magical Express, that's a good point. Maybe they have fireworks after they close the park. Do they dare have a parade with no one on Main Street? Maybe. Do we care? I don't know. I think that, you know, I mean, let's be real.
I enjoy them, but that's just like such a small part of the experience to me. Like,
it's just different for different people. But as it relates to the health, by the 4th of July,
you don't want to be crammed in like that.
It might not matter. It might not matter.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, so maybe that'll kill it all.
It might. I would watch them on YouTube when I get back. Yeah. Well, prices for tickets to get in the parks go up. Long term, yes. Short term, absolutely not. And here's why. And I don't know anything. You asked my opinion. Here it is.
They always go up.
And the long term, of course, they'll go up because you only have so much space. Like if it was $1 to go in, everybody would be this close to each other the whole time. If it was $1 million to get in, 2 dudes would be walking around the parks every day, right? It's just real economics. Will the prices go up instantly? Of course not. That would be PR suicide for Disney. I doubt they're going to drop pricing. They might, but if they drop, they would actually get skewered for that too. Because if they drop pricing, then they'd be, oh, it's all about the money, and they're having too many people. So I think they will not touch pricing for the next 6 months after they open for sure, just because PR would be a freaking nightmare. Again, a lot of business talk today. I apologize, and it's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm not on a Disney board or anything, but what do you think? You think there's any chance they change pricing?
I don't think they
Then get skewered either way, right?
Right.
You raise prices, you lower prices, you get ripped either way.
Right.
So they won't be doing that.
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to the new Trolls.
Prices on food, though. They've already done that. They're already redoing.
In relation to reopening, I'm assuming is what Gloria was asking. Will they change pricing? The answer to that is I don't know,
but I know they have they're already changing menus and changing prices on foods, and they're going to offer less items in a lot of the places.
Interesting. So I'm going to ask the chat again now that I'm caught up in chat. Thank you guys. I love the chat moving like that. It makes me happy. I love that. You know, I've said it before. These daily weekday shows, they really are becoming my favorite part of my day. Obviously, it cuts my day in half. Whatever I'm working on, I stop working on, and so that part of it is fun. But you guys just make me happy, and it's the engagement, and so like we talk about the topics, and it's important that we come up with a topic, but it's really. It's not. I'm not going to say, hey, let's just come and talk about nothing, because I hate that. But you guys really form the chat, and you know, obviously I'm yakking and you're yakking, but it's because of what you guys say. So anyway, I love this, is what I'm saying. But I would like to know again. I'm going to ask in the chat one more time. Buffets will be different. That's a good point, Amy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never. You know why I don't like buffets? Because everybody's buy my food the whole time.
Right. Well, like those little dessert parties and stuff where you can just go and grab your stuff. They're not gonna be able to do that anymore.
Buffets.
Yeah, the buffet.
I've never liked buffets for that. I'm not a germaphobe, but that's been gross. Like when I go to dinner and I don't get to pick, I don't care where we go. unless it's like Pickles R Us or a buffet. I don't want to go to a buffet. It's not that I don't like buffets. It's just the food is sitting there. Could you please bring it out of the oven and bring it to me?
It'll have to be like, do you remember the casino by where we used to live? Peyton's favorite place?
Casino Morongo out.
Yeah, and it had like food from all around the world, but everything was behind sneeze.
That's true.
Plastic.
It was.
And they stood there and waited.
And that's a good point. Amy and Paula makes a really good point. That's a really good point. That wasn't self-serve.
It wasn't self-serve.
That's an interesting point.
Fast.
Well, like what's Walmart's doing it, Target's doing it, they're all going to have their sneeze guards, people. They're all going to be up. There's going to be something in between.
Drive-thrus here already do. They already.
It's just smart. I mean,
yeah.
You know, Seinfeld, a show about nothing. They say that, but it was a show about really good writing. Larry David and Seinfeld being I mean, come on, it was about those guys. They were personality driven. But I hear you. I love that. They didn't. Come on, they always had a topic. They, you know, puppy shirt, pirate shirt. Oh, come on, they had topics. They just. But I hear you, and I love that. I wish we were as funny as stuff. Gloria, yeah, it was because of Premiere, I guess. Yes, to help with the money loss. Did I say hello to you, Donna? Hello to you, Donna. I can say it twice, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hello the first time or the second. I think I said it right. Wait till you have glass at the deli counter. I just think that makes sense. I mean, are you going to be more apt to, when you have a business, your goal is to make Mr. Smith and Mrs. Jones want to give you money for your service or your product, right? So put up a shield, and it makes people happier. Yeah. I don't know why it would ever come down.
Right.
So anyway, I don't know, more businessy talk than I expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a large part of the park's reopening.
Yeah.
It's getting through all the business stuff.
And I'm just giving it my opinion. I don't know
guessing
nothing.
What they're going to do.
The last 3 or 4 weeks has still been a dream to me. You know, Magical Express, I have on more than one occasion woke up to start my day or even in the middle of the night, you know, potty time. Is there a pandemic? Is that a dream? Oh, dang.
It's really
I know.
weird.
I'm not going to work today, am I? Like, it's really weird. Like,
so
I can be lazy all by myself, but when I'm forced to be lazy, it's a little strange.
It's weird. And I catch myself doing like 9:30 at night. I'm like, okay, all right, this day's over. Let's get into tomorrow. And then when I wake up, I'm like, all right,
nothing to do.
We got this day. Let's finish this so we can get into the next day. Because I'm looking forward to the day.
Oh,
everything.
You're trying to time
just
travel.
Be like, yeah, like, okay, let's get this
the
moving.
The earlier I go to bed, the faster it'll go.
But and then
that's like Lynn. Lynn, are you still here?
Like,
Lynn has fully Lynn has chosen the vampire life.
The vampire life.
The vampire life didn't choose her; she chose it. And yeah, so
stay up all night.
Our show ends right at 11:30 my time, which is 12:30 her time.
Right.
Last night.
Ooh, it could be young.
And every week when the show ends, her husband and her kids are like, "Come on, Ma, let's go watch a movie."
Oh yeah, no way.
So sometimes they watch one.
That's wild.
Ah, there she is. I knew she was.
That's wild.
I'm glad you've woken up at.
She's like
4:30 in the afternoon.
Like 3.
I think that's a lie. I think they're vampires. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen them in the daylight. So I've seen them in the closed up house at their home, right? Because it's closed up, right?
Yeah.
And we saw them at the Disney parks. And you know what it was when we were there? It was dark.
I don't know.
I did notice her checking out her husband's neck a lot. Just saying. They were so funny. Expedition Greg, what's going on? Magical Express, yeah. So anyway, I thank you guys. I feel like I almost need to say thank you for letting me go on my little business rant. Again, what do I know? All I know is what I think, and I'm just sharing it. This is my morning show, says Liv, right? Yeah. I don't want to be Katie Couric, okay? Can you be Katie Couric? Or no? Can I be Regis?
Sure.
I loved Regis. Who loves Regis?
You do.
I loved his rants. You know what? I just figured out that's what I'm doing. I'm being Regis. I yell for no apparent reason.
You do. I just thought it was Italian.
Yeah, I'm being Regis. I have other things to do, but now I want, when this is over, to go on and just check out Regis Philbin videos and say, I feel like I'm being Regis.
Okay.
When I think I'm funny, I'm yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's her favorite thing about me is the yelling.
Yeah, I love it.
Vampire that makes drinks, right? Yeah. Is it a Japanese vampire? Does it make her Japanese if she does the sake? Is sake Japanese only, or is it Asian? It's Japanese, right?
I think it's Japanese.
I don't drink as much as most people do, so I don't really know.
Your grandpa brought it back from Japan, so
I think it's Japanese, but it might just be Asian. Hey, Lynn, I need your help. Anyway, sake talk. Sake talk sounds good.
Sake talk.
Sake talk. Yeah. So anyway, that was Elvis's lifestyle too. Stay up all night. We need to do an Elvis chat with Mar one time.
Yeah.
I bet Mar, did you love Stitch the best because of the Elvis? Why is there an Elvis Hawaii thing? Did he live there and that's why, or like why is Elvis Hawaiian?
Yeah, well, and you remember all the movies and the songs, and he did.
How old do you think I am? No, I don't remember any of those.
He's kind of known for
Do
that.
you remember
Hawaiian
those?
shirts. Not seeing them, but I remember it being a thing. And for Stitch, he was learning to be a model citizen, which apparently is Elvis.
So, truth be told, not a big Lilo and Stitch fan.
Oh,
Wasn't then.
I love Lilo and Stitch.
Am not now. How soon do you think the parks reopen Dole Whip Dad? Greg, that's what we were talking about. I'm thinking a little before the 4th of July. I think by Magical Express Hello, I think the 4th of July will be up to speed and running and looking a little bit more like America. I think late June for Blue Hawaii. Blue.
There you go. That's the movie.
I don't know what the next word is. I know he does blue. Something.
He liked to vacation there too.
Without you, I would think. Is that
Christmas? That's a.
Am I doing? Oh, I'm doing Blue Christmas. Well, that's a good song.
It's a different one.
It's a good song. I sang blue. They said blue, and I sang blue. Don't I get some points?
Blue
You're very, very demanding in my jokes.
Yes, sure.
Anyway, to the answer to your question, I think that by the 4th of July, I think likely late June is my guess. What do you think? I need vitamin D. I couldn't be a vampire. Hey, Rachel. I know, right? I like sun too. Do you think they would open to just annual pass holders first? I think there's zero chance of that, Dale. They would piss off too many people. I think they will not raise prices because that'll make people mad. I think they will not lower prices because they will make people mad. I think what they do, hey, Expedition. Oh, Expedition, Greg, thank you, buddy. I think that they may tier it like the what do I call it? The magical. What is the magical time? Extra magic hours. I think they're going to do an expanded extra magical hours. I haven't read anything. I don't know anything. I just think it makes sense to me. And I think so they'll do a tiered thing like a queue for Rise of the Resistance. It'll be a queue for, again, I'm not saying this. I haven't read this. I just think this because it makes sense to me. And it's about.
Do you think like that many people are going to really like all jump in? I mean, I know all the Disney community, they're going to be like right there.
Yes, I do.
Do you think the other people are going to be germaphobes though?
No.
And not
I think there's 10 or 15% of people who be germaphobes and they're going to be forced to get out of it because the world's going to move on without them. I think the young people have already shown us that they are ready to be out. They didn't. Come on. Expedition Greg, I wanted to say thank you though. Dollar Super Chat, I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you, buddy. I think no. I think that we have evidence. I think evidence demands a verdict. And I think the evidence that we have that demands a verdict is people are already over this. When people call me like my sister, are you already going crazy? My answer is no, but they are.
Yeah.
There's a whole, like we're 50. There's a whole segment of the population that's 30 and under that thinks this is dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. So those of us.
My brother's like, dude, I've been doing this way for years. I don't know what everybody's freaking out about.
Most people go to work. But
I don't even use the internet. I'm like, yes, Sean, you are a caveman.
He's
like, yeah, and I love it that way.
Well, and that's the thing. Everybody, it's that individual risk tolerance that we talked about before. Everyone's going to, what Jeff does, what Mar does, what Donna does, what Amy does, what Gloria does. Everybody has their own risk tolerance, and everybody lives in the bubble that we choose to live in.
Yeah.
This is my bubble. That's your bubble. That's their bubble. And some people are going to be like, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden they're going to see everybody else is going anywhere. And they're going to, oh, after 3 months, when there's no news of new virus outbreaks, people will start going out. But to answer your question, do I think everyone will go back? No, of course, there's plenty of people who will not go back. There's some people, like when Major League Baseball had their strike in what, 94 or whatever. There's so many people, I'm a baseball nut. There's so many people that said, I'm never going back. Screw them. I'm never going to go back. They're never going to get $1. And you know what happened? Some people never went back, but more people flowed in. More people will flow in. We cannot go, and it won't make a difference because plenty of people will flow in. That's just real world. I think I'm way behind in chat again. That's just my opinion, though. Again, I know I put people off because when I get asked a question, I usually stated as a fact, not as this is my opinion. It's just a character flaw on everybody else but me. But hey, that's just I'm not Mr. Wishy-Washy. I see free food, which is easy to do. I see free food, which is easy to do. I love free food.
No, I saw that they were going to offer free food for people who were like the food. I'm
going to stick to my guns. I think they're not going to make any special offers because they'll be accused of putting people's health at risk for money. And I think they will not lower prices. They won't raise prices. All of it will be attacked.
Yeah, well,
because the world's insane.
They already have free dining, and that usually comes out in fall anyways, and they've already kind of talked about that.
Mar, plus he did the first worldwide satellite broadcasted show from Hawaii. Mar knows Elvis stuff like I know baseball stuff.
Yeah.
If there's an Elvis live stream or chat or show and you don't have Mar on it, you're doing life wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think Ratatouille will still be opening? Yeah, I think that's more about what they can do now. I don't know where they stand as it relates to the construction of it, the creation of it, and obviously they can't be working right now. So that's going to be a function of what they can do now, and I don't know where they're at. So that's impossible for me to know. I would say by summer, probably not. By fall, probably so. If my guesstimate is right, late June, early July, then just tack on. I mean, however long they were closed, just tack on that many months. So anyway, Greg, I have no way of knowing how close they were. I suspect they're not close enough, so probably not summer. I mean, we just hit spring. So, and bluntly, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. They complain that they have got to go to work every day and want to stay home. Now they complain, right? I mean, I do that. I mostly complain that I don't have more bacon.
I was going to say, you don't complain.
I complain.
Staying home or going to work.
I don't care. I don't care.
Like, yeah,
I would rather stay home. All things being equal, I'd rather stay home, but I'd like to get paid.
Right.
And I'd like to do what we do. I mean, at some point, come on, we run a nonprofit. At some point, what we do, we want to serve.
Right.
I would be bored out of my mind.
I miss the kids. I miss
the people.
Doing things with them. And
I even miss some of the customers. Some
customers, yeah. And the stories. We haven't had a crazy resale shop.
Oh, you're not answering the phone. Yeah, I have enough.
Like, it's just different. No, I hear those. Right. I know they're still.
Fear is powerful, though. I mean, Rachel, that's a good lead. Let me read the rest. I feel like many will be afraid to travel. No, Rachel. We're both right, Rachel. I think you're 100% right. So let's say 10% of the population, I just made up a number, is so fearful that they don't go for a whole year. That will be filled in by people who are not. I honestly think younger people will take the place of some older people because older people are more. I'm an older people.
You're an older people.
Older people are more set in their ways. Don't change anything.
Fly anyways.
We might now. My ears are doing better.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a little nervous about it.
But
we don't fly very much for two reasons. One, we used to have 4 kids who live in our house. Now we have 2 kids who live in our house, and that's expensive. But 2, you ever had your ear issue? I've had 3 times when I've flown, my ears got pissed at me.
Bad news.
Yeah, and so I'm a little unhappy with that.
Yeah,
and I like driving, but it's a little far. I will not yell at Disney if they upgrade me to the Poly.
Yeah.
Sandy Mom. I'm doing a video when we're done, and it might be a Poly video. You're speaking true, Jeff. One goes out into exactly, Gloria. Yes. What Gloria said. Like everybody is a little self-centered and selfish. And well, if I'm not going to do it, everyone else must think that way. And I'm guilty of that too. But if I don't go to Disney, Disney's okay.
Yeah.
It's like the customer comes in the store and thinks that if they don't make the purchase, you're going to go out of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. If everybody didn't go, I'm going to go on Facebook and tell all my friends not coming here. Cool. Tell them I said hi.
Unfortunately, all your friends' businesses rely on our business because they resell.
But it's the selfishness of just being self-centered. Like everything does not revolve around, I don't know. Everything revolves around me. But I mean, all the rest of you people. I probably just made 3 people mad, but that's okay. Maybe the return of construction at Disney could be an indication. Absolutely. But they can't yet. But absolutely. Everyone go to Donna. She's cooking. Yeah, who's making cookies? And I'm right. You made cookies the other night. That was fun.
Yeah.
America is so heartwarming and blessed and being, I love that. Yeah, amen.
I got the white chocolate to make the churro toffee too.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So I have everything to make that.
Hey, Tammy Clark, what's going on? Happy Monday to you. Part of me wants to go back and then the family thinks I'm crazy. Well, my family knows I'm crazy.
Yep.
And they're welcome to stay home. Hey, Mikey, what's going on? My favorite Jets fan. What's going on, bud? I made some sugar. I love sugar cookies. So there, we should do favorite cookies. Is that nerdy?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cookie?
I think they're called Blossoms. Peanut butter blossoms. It's like a little peanut butter cookie, and you put a chocolate kiss on top. I really like those.
I like those too. They're called Blossoms?
I think that's what they're called.
I was just going to be boring chocolate chip. If you do a peanut butter chocolate chip, which you hardly ever get, that's my favorite, but it's pretty rare. But chocolate chip is pretty boring. Like I like pepperoni pizza, and I like chocolate chip cookies.
I like chocolate chip where they're made like they're crispy though.
Ooh, I do like the peanut butter ones, like when you take the little fork and you do the. Yeah. I don't know why we do that with peanut butter, but now I want. Those cookies. Are good. Mm-hmm. What if you made me cookies? I would be good. I'm not. I'm so good.
I have white chocolate macadamia nut.
This is me not caring what kind of cookies. Can they just not be pickle cookies?
Yeah, sure.
I want cookies now. I mean, I feel like I'm losing weight with all this, doing
not a chance.
If you do not go to Disney, it's okay, but they would want to continue paying you. Yeah. Look, I'm going. I'm going. I don't believe that whatever this is going to take out the entire planet. And if it does, we're not having a conversation here, right? There's no way that this is a forever thing. I mean, in the history of history, none of it's been forever yet. I guess someday it's going to be a forever thing, but it ain't this one. So I'll be going to Disney.
This day.
Not this day. Coconut Dream Cookies. So there might be a pretty big former, well, she's not big, a very small former big time Girl Scout executive in the chat that I'm aware of. And you know what? Being family with a big head honcho with the Girl Scouts, you know what it didn't do? And didn't get me any free cookies. Not one. How many boxes of cookies do you think in the totality of my life have been in my garage that I didn't get to eat?
Oh, well, we were leaders, scout leaders.
We were not. We were people who were annoyed that other people's cookies were in my garage and I didn't get to eat them.
All the boxes of cookies in my garage.
See how she uses we incorrectly? We were not Girl Scout leaders.
Well, yeah, we were.
We were not.
You get to be there too.
We were not.
Yeah, we had a lot.
How many do you think?
I don't know. We had like
thousands.
More than I could fit in my Highlander. If I put all the seats down and filled the whole back of my Highlander, which would fit a twin bed. So there you go. And then we'd sell them all and I have to go get more. It was crazy.
So when your mom lies to you right in public, right there on YouTube, is that bad?
What did she say?
Sorry about that.
Oh.
You're not sorry about that.
She says, get over it.
I'm not over it. Does this look, I'm not a chocolate cherry cookies at Subway. I don't think I've ever had those. That sounds good. I like Thin Mints. I'm not a mint chocolate guy, but Thin Mints are good. Yeah. I guess I do like Thin. Oh, I got accused. Ooh, can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
I got accused. Change it. Cookie talk with Dole Whip Dad. Oh, we got 3 minutes. I'm going to give you the 3-minute version. How did this come in? I don't know. Magical, I blame you. I blame you, Magical Express. So I'm sitting right here doing not this, and my door was open, and my daughter comes up to me. And it's like 11 at night. Or I don't
Reagan's new favorite snack are just the plain old Chips Ahoy, the crispy, dry, old Chips Ahoy.
J&J Ministries, how are you? Good to see you.
So
this is my story.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm sitting right here, minding my own business, doing whatever I'm doing, playing on the internet, watching YouTube, creating a YouTube video, whatever I was doing. I don't know. A couple nights ago, and my daughter walks up. My youngest daughter walks up to my. There's a gate there, so the cat and whatever. She's standing right there, and she says, "Did you eat my what was it? Chocolate chip mint cookies?"
Yeah, she did say chocolate mint cookies.
And I'm like, "No, sweetie, I don't like chocolate mint. I don't like that flavor." And I didn't know we had that. And then she repeated it again, and I guess I wasn't paying attention. I said, "Are you trying to give me some?" And she said, "No, somebody ate my cookies." I'm like, "Well, one, probably my freaking cookies. Right? Two, that's not a cookie I like. Three, I didn't want one until you told me I couldn't have any.
Right.
Right. And four, we'll buy some more." So, Peyton.
No, it wasn't.
She did. That's what she said, though.
I know.
I bet Peyton ate some.
So then when
they're not yours for nobody else. Lunatic.
She shook everybody down. She said.
Did she?
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, I probably just ate them and didn't remember."
Did she? She didn't say that to me.
Yeah, she
accused me of eating something I didn't even like.
I was like, there's more at the store. It was crazy.
60% of our budget, and I'm going to give you some for free. Apparently not. Mark says Thin Mints are good too. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Walmart selling little kids fundraising stuff. Jay Skywalker has a cooler last name than me. I agree. every conversation with me usually turns to food or baseball. I strive in my life, and even more so, like they say on YouTube, to just be more of yourself, which I find easy, because be more of yourself is easy, right? That's good advice, by the way, if you want to learn how to be on YouTube and you're thinking, I don't have the personality for it. First of all, you do. There's plenty of people who love exactly who you are. Second of all, just be more you. Expand on it. It's like make a caricature. Don't be fake. Be you, but be more of you, right? And Jay, I love food and baseball. When I first created this channel, it was Disney, family, baseball, or sports, excuse me, and food. It still is. Reagan is stress eating. Reagan is not stress eating. Reagan is not stress eating. Reagan is joy eating.
Yes. Yeah.
Barbara Grabowski in the house. Oh my gosh.
Barbara.
Andy was here
Andy
earlier.
Was here earlier too.
No way,
That's
Andy. If
funny.
you're still here, say hi. I'm sure you're not. Andy usually stays in chat for everyone, but especially Barbara, just until I acknowledge him. He tells me this too. Once I acknowledge I really should start ignoring him, so he'll stay longer.
Yeah.
And he usually stays, and then when I acknowledge him, he goes away. But anyway, Barbara, I love that you're being you, and don't ever stop. Well, Josh and Lynn did the dip talk. I wasn't there for the dip talk.
Oh.
I've heard a lot about the dip talk. That story is super cute and funny. Thank you. The greatest 4 things ever, right? Baseball, bacon, barbecue. I need another B thing.
Bananas.
That's good.
I like bananas.
And I can't think of another one.
Beans.
Barbara, I've
like
been
beans.
talking. I'm glad you've been watching. I do like barbecue beans. That would have been good. I just had barbecue already. You're working from home. I am working. I don't know. I say I'm working, but it's like week 1. I felt like I was working from home.
Well, you still have to answer the phone call.
I mean, I ignored one call while we're doing
Talk to the
this.
staff.
Yeah, I guess we're working.
Kind of.
I mean, it's not.
Make sure stuff's picked up from in front of the store, because we promised the city we wouldn't leave stuff out. So.
Skywalker.
You're so weird.
He said Bates.
Because you were looking for another B.
And Bates, yes! Let's do it again. I don't remember those. That's it. It's 4 o'clock Central Time. 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We do this Monday through Friday. On Friday, we do a silly little game. If you want to play, last week, the prosecutor was Lynn. She loved it. Oh, my gosh. You can just tell.
Yeah.
We'll try to make it easier. We're going to try it again next week. This week. What are you talking about? Oh, that was me. Friday, I need a prosecutor to come on. Now, you need to have come on live before. I need to know that you're going to talk out loud. I need to know your lighting doesn't stink. I need to know your audio doesn't stink. If I can't find anybody else, maybe I'll make Lynn do it again. I don't know if I can pull it off twice.
I think she might say no this time.
But anyway, she's pretty fun though. But anyway, my point is, if you want to come on, I'm looking for somebody to do that with. I've already received some emails. I have not responded to anyone yet. I keep telling people I'll do it. I just haven't done it yet. But I'll do it certainly in the next day or two. And I do think we should give an update of the puppy. The puppy who we talked about that day that she wasn't here.
Our old senior dog.
The good news is she was strong enough to have surgery, and she's had it, and she's sleeping it off.
Yeah,
she's like that.
Recovery.
She's like the dude on Pirates with pigs and the jug. But she's not home yet. But we're gonna.
No, we can't get her till tonight. But
we are gonna go get her. By we, I mean.
Yeah.
Have your mom come on. That's a good one, Mom. You want to come, Mom?
Totally. Yeah.
That's a good one. But I've got some other people who've asked though. But that would be a good one. I mean, again, we've got like 6 more weeks of this or something. Let me say goodbye to everyone before we close out the chat. By the way, I would go to Disneyland day 1. This is my first time watching. I love it. Magical Express. Well, then I love you. Thank you. I'm glad we didn't bore you to death. So I did.
Barbara took kids with us on a field trip
to Disney. Yeah. Million
with a bunch of kids. Yeah.
Barbara knows.
She knows some of our stories.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
I should tell the story about the first day you met me. Barbara did not like me. Our first 4 hours, Barbara didn't. She's like, who is this jerk and why does he have a book? Remember that, Barb? Because the book was in the bag. I took it out. Have I ever told you that story?
I think so.
I probably have, right?
Yeah.
We ended up being great friends. So. This jerk thinks he's going to read it work. Do you remember that, Barbara? All right, that's it. So I appreciate you guys. So 3 o'clock every day, Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Other times, other places, figure it out. If you know what time it is, cool. If you don't, it's going to be tough. Friday night, Disney Pins Live. Saturday morning, Beauty and the Beast. That's me and you.
That's us.
Sunday, DizTube, Disney creator Stacy Rogers. It's kind of mod week. I'm going to be celebrating mods. Is that Stacy Rogers? No, she has perfect timing. Perfect timing. Sad face. Why, Barbara? We're buddies now. Why sad face? I didn't say anything mean. I don't think so. No sad face. Stacey Rogers will be my guest. I cannot wait for that this Sunday on DizTube. What's DizTube? It's always better, I swear, than last night's. Last night's was weird, and that it did well numbers wise too. I had over 70 people in there while you were being a lunatic.
Yeah.
Not that it was her, I swear. But anyway, start over. Orlando guy in the house. What's going on, my man? Nope. I'm hot. I got to take off the sweatshirt and I got to go potty. And that's not the kind of thing
you don't need to tell them that.
But I have to go potty.
Don't tell them that. Weirdo.
They know that people go potty.
Yeah, but they don't need to know about when you do.
That's all. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, if you do want to be, I may have, just email me at doledad@gmail.com if you want to be our guest prosecutor on Friday, where we lie to you and you tell us what we're lying about. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And whoever the guest prosecutor will be, we'll do that every Friday as long as they don't let us go to work. Email me at doledad@gmail.com. That will make sure that you get on my newsletter list. I'm trying to get to 100. I may have done that. I haven't looked at how many we've added. I think we're probably there, and then I'll probably once a week put out a newsletter saying, hey, I've got Stacey Rogers on DizTube this week, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait. I'm going to catch up and chat, and then we're going to say goodbye. Why are you laughing? Is it something funny?
You're just, yeah.
I want to know. Barbara, no sad faces allowed. I'm scared now, Jeff. I don't know if I can do. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just put on the Easter suit. I should, Stacey, I should reach out. Do you have lighting and audio and all that? Do you need help with that? I'll send you a note, or you can send me a note. You probably sent me an email. She sends me emails and she sends me tweets, and you know. But we'll talk. Yes, Gloria. Look at Gloria being a pro. Hit the like button. Why? The YouTube algorithms like it. Stacey, you are better than a puppet. I mean, right? I mean, we need to raise the bar there, Candy Mom, but she clearly is. And I think there might be a special birthday girl. What's tomorrow's topic?
You pick them. Whatever he decides.
Something about potty time would be funny, but I can't come up with
goodness.
it. I'm not being very creative.
Okay. You'll just have to tune in to his little updates, and he'll tell you.
That's all for now. Peek into Super Channel. Hello back to you. How are you doing? I always feel bad when I say hello to somebody who just popped in and we're leaving, but hello, goodbye. Bunch of stuff going on. Josh, Magical Mondays, Magical Mayhem, Monorail, Mythical Magic Mondays. I don't know the name, but he's awesome. Pretty sure Resort TV One's got a premiere coming on. Might even be the same time. All kinds of awesomeness. Check it out. Hi, back to you. Random Thought Tuesday. That's not bad. Not bad. All right. Thanks for being here. Have the best day ever. Appreciate every single one of you. Mods especially. New people especially. Everybody especially. Have a great day.
Bye.
Go wash your hands. Stop yelling. Oh, wait.
That's you.